Hello everyone, today I'm gonna show you my new tool to calculate and to paint the motion blur directly on your viewer. These are the main nodes that you can use in Nuke to calculate and to drive the motion blur using the vector map. This is my new node, the motion blur paint. How it works. So here in the upper part you have to select your channel, usually as default is RGBA. Your format is gonna read automatically your format from your image. You can apply the overscan as you prefer. As default the output is final result, and you can also get the vector map to drive I don't know, externally a vector blur node or something like that. Here you have different tabs, so one tab for your motion blur is exactly the same controls that you have in your vector blur, and here you have the tab about your paints. So what we have to do basically is to bring our image, connect it to the input, and then we have to select the button, select brush, and automatically it's gonna select the smear brush, as you can see. This is the classic paint paint viewer, that the controls we have it here instead of here on the left of our viewer, and we can just paint the vector in the direction that we want. So this is the result. We can add a little bit of smooth of our paint. Okay, a little bit more. And here we can select the final motion blur. We can go a little bit down with the amount, control the shutter, the offset, exactly as you can do with your classic vector map. Let's see an example. Okay, so here we have this 2D element. It's just blood, and how it works. So basically this is a slow motion, so there's no motion blur in this footage. The blood is going up and down. So as you can see, there is a different motion vector, so in the upper part and in the lower part. So we can just paint it out with this node and get this result. If I enable our node, we can get this result. We can reduce the amount of the motion we can paint. Okay, I need to open this tab. Or we can paint even more. I can extend the life exactly as my roto paint, the life of our smear, and get the result for all the frame range that we want. Or I can even paint more. For example, at this frame I need to paint more to have something different. And if we want, we can also track it. We can select the root, and here in the tab transform we can just put everything, our tracker information, directly here. The only thing, you can't disable the node with the D tab. As you can see, if I press the D, nothing happened, because you need to close the tab and disable the node, because with the roto paint node, with the tab, you can select this one. You see, it's the same shortcut. So you have to, if you want to disable the node, you have to close the tab before. How it works, we are gonna start from our UV map, and we can basically paint, as you can see, with the smear directly on our UV map. Here with this expression we can convert our UV map in the vector, copying the vector in the forward, or as you want, forward motion, as you prefer, and driving our vector blur, we can get the same result as before. So here we have our controls to drive the motion blur, and here we can basically paint. You can see a really similar example on Nukepedia. It works very well on, for example, explosion, debris, something like that, where every single piece, every single debris has a proper motion blur, has a different motion blur. This method is basically the same, but it's a little bit faster. Thank you, bye!